There's quite a few perks to being a creator on YouTube like this, and one of them is that I get sent free stuff to review and look at, and I don't really tend to mention it on this channel because it's not always that important. I'm also really careful about what I say yes to, because I'll only take products that I think I'm going to use and I think are going to fit into my workflow. So what this video is me talking about a number of the things that I've been sent to review on this channel that I think are actually really good. And with it being Black Friday week / month, I think it is now, I thought it'd be a perfect time to talk about them because there are likely to be some really good deals on some of this stuff. I also had a bit of time to burn while I wait for what is hopefully going to be a pretty good sunset. Now, the first thing I can't actually show you right now because it is in this camera recording this video, and it is a Gear CF Express Type A memory card, and it's a 256GB card. I've been using this card for a good 5 months now, and I've not spoken about it until now because I think you need to use a card quite a lot before you can really comment on how good it is. I've had some issues in the last few months with cards corrupting. Not this card, thankfully, but cards from reputable brands. And these are expensive cards. With the SD cards, with the speed that I need to record these videos, they can run into about £1 per gigabyte. So a 256GB card is going to cost you a lot of money. With this card, I think there is an offer on right now for £90 for a 256GB CF Express Type A card, which is an absolute steal for the amount of data that is. The only drawback of this card is it's CF Express Type A, which means I can't pop it straight in my laptop like I can an SD card, but I can just connect a USB-C cable from my camera to my laptop, and it does the job perfectly. So that's the first thing, Gear CF Express Type A memory cards. Second thing is this, and it is a Yarno superfast battery charger and comes with 2 batteries as well. And this is obviously for my Sony that I'm recording on, and the batteries just go into it here. This connects by USB-C and charges up 2 batteries in less than 2 hours. Now, when they sent me this, it was limited to Sony and Canon, but I think they now do these battery cases for Fujifilm and Nikon as well. And they also have this feature here that tells you how much charge is left in your battery. So that's really easy to be able to tell whether your batteries are full or not without putting them in your camera. And it's just a really simple way to charge batteries. I do it at home, but it's even better on the go as well. I used to take chargers with loads of wires and stuff, and everyone takes a USB-C cable everywhere with them now, so it's easy just to use the stuff you've already got. The batteries in it seem really good as well. They are third-party batteries. I've got no issue with using third-party batteries. It's something I've done since I started photography 14 years ago. I don't think it's something you need to be afraid of. And these are just a really good solution to the problem of having different chargers, different wires and everything else. It's just a really neat little kit that'll fit in your travel bag. This is an absolutely essential part of my video making kit, and it is not just a variable ND filter, but it's also got a built-in polarizer as well. This is called the V2 Hybrid. It's from Freewell, and it's probably one of the best VNDs that I've used. I've used lots before, and often they come either with a color cast or a ridiculous price tag. And this thankfully comes with neither. It's suited my work so well over the last 12 months, and it's great because you can easily flip it from being polarized to non-polarized. These little screws here, you tighten them, and then it means it doesn't shift the polarization, but you can move the strength of the neutral density, and it goes from 3 to 7 stops, and it doesn't have any of that crossover effect that you can often get with VNDs. So this has been absolutely brilliant for my video kit. I've used it in Antarctica, I've used it in Chile, I've used it in America, I've used it on pretty much every video project I've done over the last 12 months, like I say. Also comes with little filters. This one is a glow filter, so when you put that on the front, it just magnetizes, and this also just magnetizes to the lens attachment. When you put the glow filter on, it just gives a look that I quite like when you've got light shining towards the lens. I use it quite a lot in my studio. If I've got light behind me, it just softens the look slightly, and I'll show you now what it looks like with this on and with it off when you're shooting out and about like this. That's without the glow filter, and that's with the glow filter. that is what the glow filler does. The next one's a bit random, and it's boots. These are forest tracker boots from Vivobarefoot. Now, I've been wearing barefoot shoes for over a year now, and I'm completely sold on them. They are so comfortable, and I've had so much fewer injuries. I'm sure there's a better way of saying that. Less injuries, probably less injuries. I've had less injuries since I've been wearing them as well. I used to get quite a lot of calf injuries, and since I've been wearing these, that's all but ended. There's so many benefits that you can read up on them. But the reason I'm talking about it is because A, they're lightweight, so if you're traveling, they don't take up much weight in your case. But B, at the moment, I'm actually a Vivo ambassador, and I joined their ambassadorship scheme recently, and they've given me a 25% off code for any of their footwear. So there's a link to that below, there's a link to everything below, but that 25% off thing is somewhere that you probably won't find in many places. So check that out, because honestly, I've got so many different pairs of these barefoot shoes, and I basically wear them all the time now. I wouldn't really wear anything else. One of my favourite things about these as well that I forgot to mention when I was panicking because the sun was setting and I was just totally ill prepared was that they just didn't need any wearing in. They were completely comfortable to go on big, long hikes straight out of the box. If you do switch to barefoot shoes, it will take a little bit of time for your feet to get used to it. I've been wearing them, like I said, for over a year. I've got some like this for kind of summer hiking and sort of trainery type ones for just casual wear and more. But yeah, they're fine to wear just out of the box, and they're just so flexible and can get into tiny little spaces for packing and stuff like that. So I'd really recommend these. I think they've been absolutely brilliant so far. The next one's this, the microphone that I use, and it's the Rode Wireless Pro. Now, Rode were kind enough to send me this, and it comes in this little kit, and you get the receiver, and if I unzip it rather than zip it up, receiver and 2 transceivers, they charge in this, and it's just a really good mic for making videos like this. The wireless capabilities are better than the DJI mic I was using. I was using the DJI mic 1. I've not tried the 2 because of the issues I had with the 1, but the wireless capabilities seem pretty good, and you can record to the device. That is not a good look. The best thing about recording to the device though is that you have 32-bit float, and basically what that means is you cannot clip the audio. Clipped audio is when you record it at too high a volume and it gets all muffled, which unfortunately I have done far too many times, but this solves the problem completely. This is recorded straight to camera. You can do a backup on this, and if you mess up the camera settings, you're saved with this, so it's pretty foolproof. This will also be beneficial if you get too far away from your camera when you're recording audio and the wireless transmission does turn off. So yeah, I'd really recommend this. This is like I can't see me ever needing a different wireless mic system than this, and I never got that feeling when I had my old DJI mic set. I tried talking about this bit when I was in the field, but I made a complete mess of it because I was rushing around like a blue-arsed fly, as we would say in the UK. The next one I wanted to mention just very briefly was tripods, and I touched on this a couple of videos ago, and I use tripods now mainly for video. I try not to use them for photography because I find them quite restrictive, and to be honest, they just annoy me. I know everyone's different. I took a lot of flack in that video for people saying you shouldn't not recommend tripods. That's not what I was doing. If you want to use a tripod, use a tripod. I just don't think you need to spend £900 a month. That was my point. I use these. This is the Benro Tortoise. My camera right now is on the Benro Mammoth. I've used Benro tripods for 5 years or so now, I think, and I absolutely love them. I think as far as value for money goes, there's nothing else I'd even consider. They're well made, they're pretty lightweight, they just do everything I want them to do. So if you are in the market for a tripod, please consider Benro, because that's my recommendation, and right now I wouldn't be using anything else. In my mind, no photographer or filmmaker should be without one of these, and this is, I'm going to call it a multi-tool because I don't know its proper name. Probably is a multi-tool, but it's a multi-tool from Small Rig, and this is brilliant. The amount of times I've tried to tighten tripod plates with a coin, or I've ruined my house keys doing it, that is no longer a problem, because this has got all the adapters you want for tightening tripod plates, tripod nuts, bits of grip equipment on cages or anything for filmmaking stuff. This is brilliant. Does everything I want it to do. It's got little storage screw holes there to store screw heads, And I've not found any kind of attachment on my camera or tripod that this won't fit. Just goes in my camera bag, it lives in there, it's flight safe because it's not got a blade like Leatherman's. And yeah, everyone should have one of these. So as I alluded to earlier, I completely ran out of time to either finish this video or take a decent photo. For some reason I thought I had an hour more than I did. And in answer to a question I got asked recently, which was how do you make videos and take photos at the same time? With great difficulty is the answer. And that was asked in response to a question I asked, what do you guys want to know about how I make these videos? And that's a video I'm going to make in the near future. So if you do want to know anything about my video production process, put a comment down below and I'll try and answer as many of those as possible. And on that note, one of the things I do use all the time to make these videos is Artlist, and I've recently partnered with Artlist as well. And they're a really good music provider. In fact, in my opinion, they're the best music provider. I've tried all of the others. I've tried, well, all the other big ones. I've tried Epidemic Sound and Musicbed, and I found them either too expensive or I just found them really hard to find music that I liked. And Artlist has been kind of really taking that pain point away, and I get loads of stuff that I really like from there. So I've been using them for 5 years since I started freelancing, and it's great because you can use their music on client projects and YouTube channels like this. And they've also got packages where you can have sound effects added to it, and then the max package has stock footage as well. So if that's something you need to consider, then I'd thoroughly recommend their max package, and the stock footage library is incredible. So for 2 months of Artlist free, there is a link in the description below, and they might have some Black Friday stuff going on as well. But even without all that, they're the music provider that I'd recommend. Before I go though, I just want to mention my email newsletter, and that is something that I have neglected more than my photography this year. I can't actually remember when I last sent a newsletter out. So yeah, I am relaunching the newsletter with a view to it being consistent, weekly even. Weekly might be a stretch. No, I am going to send it weekly. This is my commitment, so hold me accountable. And what I want my newsletter to be is something that inspires you guys, that teaches you something where I share with you something interesting I found and something that challenges you as well. That's going to be something I send out every Friday, starting today. So if that's something you're interested in, there's a link in the description below, and I'll also send out things like discounts for my store when I do print launches, when I release other products as well. I'm hoping to make it as useful for you guys as possible. That's it. That is a comprehensive list of all the things I've been sent that I find really useful and are now fully integrated into my workflow. If there's anything else you want to know about any of the stuff I've spoken about, leave a comment below. Next week, I'll be talking more about photography, where I'm going to attempt to self-critique my own images and try and show you what you can learn from doing that with your images too. So if that's something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button below as well. Thanks for watching.